He pushed open the heavy kitchen door, expecting darkness. Instead, he saw a small shape, a child, hunched over the catering cart, a small blonde girl. Then the child dropped the bowl. The sound of porcelain on stone was sharp. It was real. The girl, he realized, was terrified. She was pressed against the steel cart, her eyes wide, staring at the spilled food. She looked like a cornered animal. "You," Harrison started. His voice was rough from disuse. "What are you doing?" Sophie couldn't speak. She did the only thing she could. She dropped to her knees and began frantically trying to scoop the spilled macaroni back into the broken bowl with her bare hands. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'll clean it right now. Please, please don't tell Mrs. Petro. Please, sir." Harrison watched her. He wasn't disgusted. He was confused. The girl was shaking. Her small hands were red and smeared with cheese sauce, her small back heaving with silent sobs. He noticed her clothes. They were clean but worn. Her pink sneakers had holes in the toes. This child was thin. "Stop," he said. His voice was softer this time, but it still held the authority of a man used to being obeyed. Sophie froze, her hands full of cold pasta. "Who are you?" Harrison asked. I'm Sophie, sir. Sophie Miller." "Miller?" He searched his memory. Anna Miller's daughter. Anna, the quiet maid, the one with the sad eyes who always polished the silver in the library. "Where is your mother?" "She's working," Sophie said immediately. "Upstairs. She told me to stay in the staff lounge." "The staff lounge is on the other side of the basement," Harrison said. "You are not in the staff lounge." Sophie flinched. I was hungry." The words hung in the air. Simple, awful. Hungry. Harrison Blackwell had never in his entire 68 years had a child stand in his own kitchen and tell him she was hungry. "I see," he said slowly. "This is what you were eating. The scraps." "It was going to be thrown away," Sophie said, desperate for him to understand. "Mrs. Petrov throws it all away at 9:15. I wasn't stealing. I was just waiting for the garbage. Please, Mr. Blackwell. My mama, she needs this job. She's sick. Sophie clamped her mouth shut. "She's sick," Harrison pressed. But Sophie was silent. "Stop," he said, turning from the child. He walked over to the industrial sink, pulled a clean cloth from a hook, and wet it. He walked back and knelt, wincing as his old knees popped. He knelt right on the cold floor next to the spilled pasta. "Sir, no," Sophie gasped. "I'll do it. It's my fault." "We'll do it together," Harrison said. Hesitantly, Sophie knelt beside him. Together, the billionaire and the maid's daughter began picking up the broken shards of the bowl. As Sophie reached for a piece of the broken bowl, her sleeve pulled up. Harrison saw it. Her wrist was tiny, fragile as a bird's, and clutched in her other hand was something dark, a small bronze button. "What is that?" he asked. Sophie quickly pulled her sleeve down. "It's nothing, sir. Just my lucky charm." Slowly, she opened her hand. It was a pin, old worn bronze, an eagle, its wings spread, its talons clutching a small flag. It was a service pin. Harrison recognized the design. It was a pin given to the families of decorated soldiers. "Where did you get this?" "It was my great-uncle's," Sophie whispered. "My mama's uncle. He was a soldier." "A soldier," Harrison repeated. He stood up. "Come with me," he said. "Sit down." He walked to the walk-in refrigerator. He pulled out a large ceramic dish. He took it to the microwave, and a minute later, he placed a steaming bowl on the table in front of Sophie. It was full of macaroni and cheese. "Eat," he said. It was not a request. Sophie ate. Her hunger, which had been a cold, sharp ache, suddenly roared to life. She finished the entire bowl in less than 3 minutes. "Now," he said, leaning forward, "you're going to tell me everything. You're going to tell me why Anna Miller's daughter is hiding in my kitchen eating garbage. And you're going to tell me about your mother. The truth. All of it." Sophie took a shaky breath. "Mama is sick, sir," she began. "She tries to hide it, but she coughs all the time at night." "What is wrong with her?" "It's her lungs," Sophie said. from the smoke. Our old apartment building, it had a fire a long time ago, before we came here. She got everyone out on our floor. She ran back in from Mrs. Gable's cat. She breathed in a lot of smoke. The doctor said her lungs are scarred. And now there's something else. They call it fibrosis. She needs a treatment, a special kind. He said it costs more than a car, more than our whole apartment. We don't have that money, sir. Mama gives all her paycheck to the hospital, but they keep sending letters, red letters. They say they will stop the medicine if she doesn't pay. You have nothing to be sorry for, Harrison said. Your great-uncle, he said, changing the subject. The pen. This was Great-Uncle Michael, she said. He was a hero. He was a paratrooper. He went to a place called Normandy. Harrison's breath caught. He saved his whole team, Sophie said. He made a distraction. He ran out. He made them all look at him so his friends could get away. He was hit. Sophie nodded. He kept going. They saved everyone, but he didn't come home. She said, this is who we are, Sophie. We are not people who run. We are people who help. Harrison stared at the pen. He stared at the girl. Anna, Harrison said, standing up. Anna Miller stood in the doorway, pale and terrified. Sophie has been explaining the situation to me, Harrison said. She told me about your lungs and the red letters from the hospital. You work for me, Harrison said. Your daughter is hiding in my pantry because she is hungry. I believe that makes it my concern. Anna, he said, first, you're not fired. Anna sagged against the door. Second, Harrison continued, Sophie will not be eating leftovers again. He picked up the kitchen phone. David, Harrison said, calling his personal lawyer. I am in my kitchen with an employee and her daughter. Her daughter, by the way, is a relative of a Normandy paratrooper, and her mother is being harassed by a hospital. Pay the bill, Harrison said, his voice flat. All of it. And find out who her doctor is. I want her to see Dr. Evans at the main clinic tomorrow, the best lung specialist. Bill everything to my personal account. I cannot accept that. It's too much. It's charity, Anna pleaded. Ma'am, Harrison said, cold, your great-uncle ran into enemy fire to save his men. You ran into a burning building to save a cat. It seems to me your family has a habit of helping people. Please be quiet and let someone help you. Tonight you and Sophie will be my guests. He walked toward the main staircase. Anna, shaking, pulled Sophie past Mrs. Petrov, who was standing like a frozen, humiliated statue. The family of a genuine American hero is in this house, and you call them thieves, Harrison had told his housekeeper, his voice dangerously soft. I find that unacceptable. Anna and Sophie were shown to the beautiful, soft blue guest room. Sophie fell asleep almost immediately in the massive bed. The next morning, a call from Harrison's lawyer confirmed the appointment with Dr. Evans. Breakfast, fluffy scrambled eggs and hot chocolate, was delivered on a silver cart. At 9 a.m., Anna and Sophie were driven in a black car to the Blackwell Mason Clinic. Harrison Blackwell was waiting for them. After the examination, Dr. Evans confirmed the diagnosis, advanced pulmonary fibrosis. The cost, Anna whispered. The cost, Harrison said, speaking for the first time, is not a factor. It is not to be discussed. He put Anna on indefinite, fully paid medical leave. Her only job was to get well. That afternoon, Harrison sat in his study and faced the real villain. His head of security presented a file proving that Mrs. Petrov had been systematically stealing from the household for years, faking invoices and padding overtime. She had allowed a 10-year-old child to eat from a garbage cart, Harrison realized, and the cold rage that filled him was absolute. Mrs. Petrov was summoned, confronted, and forced to sign a confession and repayment agreement. She was escorted from the house, never to return. 1 month later, the house was different. The light poured in, and the staff moved with new lightness. Anna Miller, her lungs clear from treatment, her face full and healthy, walked the halls. She held a clipboard. She was a new head of household. Harrison didn't need a jailer. He needed someone who knew what kindness was. She had taught his house how to be a home again. Anna found Harrison on the back terrace. Sophie was sitting on the stone ground, her tongue stuck out in concentration, polishing her great-uncle's bronze pen. "The new curtains have arrived," Anna said, "and the chef wants to know if you and Sophie will be joining him for dinner." "We will be delighted," Harrison said. Sophie ran up, holding the pen. "Look, it's all shiny like new." Harrison took the pen. "Your great-uncle," Harrison said, his voice thick, "would be so proud of you, Sophie." "You are," Harrison said, handing the pen back. He looked at Anna, no longer sick and afraid. "You both are. You saved us." Sophie beamed, then ran off to chase a squirrel. Anna sat on the bench next to Harrison. The sound of Sophie's laughter was the loudest thing in the garden, and for the first time in a very long time, it felt exactly right.